I have been saving the way I laugh when something actually surprises me. That unguarded, unfiltered laugh that I don't let out very often because it's too real. I have been saving the conversations I want to have at midnight. The ones where we talk about everything and nothing, where time disappears and neither of us notices. I have been saving all of this for you. And some days the saving feels like an act of love in itself. Like sending letters to someone who hasn't arrived yet. This Eid, I did everything I was supposed to do. I wore the right clothes. I said the right things. I smiled in all the right moments. But there was a second, just one quiet, honest second, when everyone was busy and the noise faded just a little. And I stood there and I thought about you. I thought about what it would feel like to turn around and see you there. To see you dressed beautifully the way you always are, in that way that's effortless and yours, and completely unlike anyone else. I thought about handing you something sweet first, before anyone else, because that's what you do for someone who is your person. You think of them first, always first, even before yourself. And I stood there in that second with all of that feeling in my chest, and I had no one to give it to. And that is why this Eid felt incomplete. But I want you to know that second was not sad. It was full. It was so full. Because even missing you has a kind of warmth to it. A kind of hope. Missing you means I believe in you. Missing you means I haven't given up on the idea that somewhere out there you are living your life and our lives haven't intersected yet. And that's okay, because when they finally do, it will feel like something clicking into place. Like the last word of a sentence you've been trying to finish for years. Like coming home. Lokik, I think about the kind of love I want to give you. And it's not the kind you see in dramatic declarations or grand gestures. Though I would do all of that for you without hesitation. No, the kind of love I want to give you is the quiet, consistent, deeply present kind. The kind where I notice when you're tired before you say it. The kind where I remember what you said 3 weeks ago about something small and I bring it up because I was still thinking about it. The kind where I make sure you feel safe, always safe. Like no matter what the world throws at you, when you are with me, you can exhale fully, without fear. I don't know what you've been through. I don't know what kind of nights you've survived. What kind of heartbreaks have left their marks on you? What kind of moments made you question whether you were enough, or whether love was real, or whether someone would ever choose you, really truly choose you, and stay? But I want you to know from this moment, from this very breath, you are so enough. You are more than enough. You are the kind of person that people look for their whole lives, and sometimes find and sometimes don't, and that is their loss. And it will one day be my greatest fortune. And here's the thing I need you to stay for. The thing I need you to keep listening to. Because this is important. I have not always been perfect. I have made mistakes. Carried things I shouldn't have. Said things I regretted. Stayed quiet when I should have spoken. I am not coming to you as someone who has it all figured out. I am coming to you as someone who is still learning. Still growing. Still trying every single day to be the kind of man who deserves someone like you. And I think that matters. I think the fact that I know I have to earn you, that I take it seriously, that I don't take love lightly. I think that matters more than perfection. I would rather come to you honest and real than polished and hollow. Do you know what I imagined on this idea? I imagined sitting with you after all the noise quieted down. When everyone had gone home and the house was still, and the only light was something soft and warm. I imagined sitting close to you, close enough that I could hear you breathe, and just being there. Not performing, not trying, just being with you, fully, completely, in that beautiful rare silence that you can only share with one person in the world. The person who doesn't need you to fill the quiet. The person whose silence feels like home. I imagined that. And I wanted it so much, it ached. There are things I want to show you. Places I've saved in my mind because I thought when I see this with her, it will mean something. Sunsets I haven't fully appreciated yet. because I was busy thinking about how much better they'd look reflected in your eyes. Songs I've listened to and thought this one is for her. Whoever she is, wherever she is, this song belongs to her. I have been collecting things for you without even realizing it. Moments, feelings, pieces of beauty that I've set aside because sharing them alone felt incomplete. Everything feels like it's in a kind of waiting room, patient and quiet, until you arrive. That I want to ask you something. I want to ask you, are you okay? Not in the casual, surface level way people ask. Not the I'm fine kind of okay. I mean really, are you rested? Are you being kind to yourself? Are you giving yourself the same gentleness you would give to someone you love? Because I worry about you, even now, even without knowing you. I think about whether you're pushing yourself too hard, whether you're carrying things you don't have to carry alone, whether the world is being fair to you. And I want to be the person who asks. I want to be the person who sits across from you and says, tell me everything, I have time, I am here, you are not too much. This Eid, there were children running around with their new clothes and their pockets full of Eid and their eyes so bright and wide. And I watched them and I thought one day I want that, not just the image of it, not just the idea of it. I want the real, messy, beautiful, laughing, exhausting version of a family. And at the center of it, I want you. I want you to be the person I look across the room at and share a quiet smile with, the one that says, can you believe this is our life? Can you believe we made this? I want to grow old next to you and still reach for your hand. I want to be the person who chooses you on every ordinary Tuesday and every difficult night and every Eid morning for the rest of my life. Ta! I know you might be wondering, who is this for? Is this real? Is he really talking to me? And the answer is yes. This is for you, exactly you, the one reading this right now, the one whose heart just did that small, quiet thing when something feels true. This is for the version of you that is tired of almost loves and half-hearted feelings, and people who leave before they really arrive. This is for the part of you that still believes, even quietly, even carefully, even after everything, that real love exists. That someone out there is thinking of you. That someone is saving their mornings and their silences and their best self for you. I am still here, and I am not going anywhere. And this Eid, even without you by my side, I carried you in my chest, in that soft, warm, aching place where hope lives. And I will carry you there until the day I don't have to anymore, until the day you are finally, actually, really here. And when that day comes, I won't need any words. I'll just look at you, and you'll know. You'll know that every moment I spent missing you was worth it. Every Eid that felt incomplete was just the universe making sure that when we finally met, it would feel like the beginning of everything. Tovor, I keep thinking about something. I keep thinking about what it must feel like to be you right now. Not the version of you that the world sees. The one that gets dressed and shows up and handles things and keeps moving. I mean the version of you that exists in the in-between moments. The you that sits quietly for a few seconds before sleep comes and lets yourself feel things you don't talk about out loud. The you that hears a certain song and goes somewhere else entirely. The you that sometimes looks out of a window and wonders if someone somewhere is thinking about you in the way you deserve to be thought about. I want you to know, I am that someone. Right now, in this moment, it is you on my mind. It is the weight of your unspoken feelings that I am thinking about. It is your quiet, unseen moments that I hold gently in my heart, like something precious. And I wonder about you. I wonder about the little things, the things nobody ever thinks to ask about. I wonder what your mornings actually look like when there's no one to perform for. Whether you're someone who wakes up slowly, gently, like someone easing into water, or whether you're someone who opens your eyes all at once, already thinking, already carrying the day before it's even started. I wonder whether you take your chai strong or soft, Whether you like the window open or whether you prefer the quiet, sealed warmth of a room that feels like its own small world. I wonder whether you hum to yourself when you're cooking or moving around the house. Whether there's some small unconscious melody that lives in you. One that you don't even notice anymore, but that I would notice immediately. I would notice it the very first time, and I would remember it forever. I have been thinking about love differently lately. I think I used to believe that love was something that arrived fully formed. That you would meet someone and there'd be this enormous, undeniable moment, like lightning, like something cinematic and impossible to miss. And maybe for some people it is like that. But the more I sit with this feeling, the more I think that real love, the kind that lasts, the kind that holds, is quieter than that. It's not the lightning strike. It's the warmth that stays after. It's not the grand entrance. It's the choosing, again and again, in small and ordinary ways, every single day. It's looking at someone across a room when something funny happens, before you even realize you're doing it, because they're the person your instincts reach for. It's the cup of water you bring without being asked. It's the way you rearrange your plans just slightly because you remembered something she mentioned 2 weeks ago that mattered to her. That's the love I want to give you. The steady kind. The kind that doesn't burn out because it was never trying to be a performance. It was always just the truth. I want to be honest with you about something. Honest in the way that might make you feel something you weren't expecting to feel today. There have been moments, real, specific, human moments, where I have felt loneliness in a way that surprised even me. Not the loud kind of loneliness, not the kind that announces itself and demands attention, the quiet kind. The kind that visits you in the middle of something completely normal. You're laughing with people you care about, and suddenly there's this small gap in your chest, this awareness that there's a conversation you want to have that you can't have yet because the person you'd have it with hasn't arrived. You're doing well by every external measure, you are absolutely fine. And yet some part of you is reaching forward into time toward a version of your life that includes her, includes you. And that loneliness, I've realized, is not a wound. It's a compass. It's pointing somewhere. It's pointing toward you. I want to tell you about a feeling I've never quite been able to describe to anyone. It happens sometimes late at night, when everything is still, and I'm alone with my thoughts. And something cracks open just slightly, some door inside that I keep mostly closed. And I let myself really imagine you. Not vaguely, not as a concept. Actually imagine you, sitting near me, leaning slightly, comfortable in a way that tells me you feel safe. Your voice at that low, unhurried register people use when they're not performing for anyone. And in that imagination, I am not trying to be anything. I am just there, fully there, with no distance between who I am and who I'm showing you. And the feeling that comes with that imagining, that openness, that ease, that sense of being completely seen and completely okay with it. That feeling is what I am building toward. That is what I want. Not the idea of love, the actual feeling, the real, soft, unguarded, completely yours version of it. Do you know what I want to give you on an ordinary day? Not an anniversary, not a special occasion, just a regular, unremarkable Wednesday. I want to give you the first good thing that happens. If the sky does something beautiful in the morning, I want to make sure you see it. If I hear something that makes me think of you, and so many things make me think of you, I want to say it out loud instead of keeping it quiet. I want to bring you something small, something that costs nothing but attention. Because I noticed you, and I thought of you, and I wanted you to know. I want to be the person who makes your ordinary days feel like they matter. Because they do. You matter. The Wednesday version of you, the tired version, the unbothered version, the version with messy hair and no patience for anything difficult. Every version of you matters, and I want all of them. Let me tell you something about the way I see you, even without having seen you. There is something about a woman who has survived difficult things and come out of them still soft, still willing to feel, still willing to hope. That is one of the most extraordinary things in the world. Hardness is easy. Closing yourself off is easy. The world will give you 1,000 reasons to build walls and sharpen your edges and decide that caring too much is a liability. But softness after pain, that is strength of the rarest kind. And I believe you have it. I believe that somewhere inside you, through everything you've been through, you have held on to something tender. Something that still reaches toward warmth when warmth comes near. And I will spend every day being worthy of that tenderness. I will never make you regret keeping it. There is something I need you to hold on to, especially on the days when everything feels uncertain and love feels like a risk you can't afford. I need you to hold on to this. Someone is out here taking this seriously. Someone is not treating love like a game or a convenience or something to be picked up and put down depending on the season. Someone is thinking about the kind of partner he wants to be, the kind of patience he wants to practice, the kind of presence he wants to offer, the kind of home he wants to build. Not because it sounds good, but because there is a real person on the other end of all of this, and she deserves someone who prepared, someone who took it seriously before she even arrived. That someone is me, and I am taking it seriously. I am taking you seriously. So, I think about small arguments we will have, and how I want to handle them. I think about it because I believe the way you fight is as important as the way you love. Maybe more. I know that there will be moments of misunderstanding, moments where I say something wrong, or you hear something differently than I meant it, or we are both tired and neither of us has the grace we usually do. And what I want, what I am preparing for, is to be the person who does not let pride win over love, who does not go cold or distant or punishing, who comes back, always with softness, who can say, I was wrong, or I'm sorry, or I don't fully understand but I want to without it costing something inside. I want us to be the kind of two people who know that repairing is not weakness. Repairing is love, choosing to continue. And there's more I want to tell you. There's so much more. I want to tell you about the way I imagine celebrating you. Not just on the days the world says you should be celebrated, but on random days, on the days you least expect it, on the days you're feeling least like yourself and most like you need someone to remind you of who you actually are. I want to be that reminder. I want to be the voice that says, look at what you did. Look at how far you've come. Look at how strong you are. Look at how much I see you. And I want it to land. I want it to reach the part of you that doesn't always believe those things. The part that needs to hear them. Not from your own reflection, but from someone who chose you. Someone who sees you fully and is choosing you anyway. Especially anyway. I want you to feel something right now. Not later, not in some imagined future version of us right now. In this moment, wherever you are, I want you to feel that you are not invisible. You are not waiting for nothing. The hope you've been carrying, the quiet dream of being deeply loved, the part of you that keeps the door open even when it's been difficult. That is not naive. That is not foolish. That is one of the bravest things a person can do, to keep believing. And I want to be the reason that belief was right. I want to be the proof. I want to arrive in your life, and I want you to feel it. Actually feel it. That this is what all the waiting was for. That the heart that stayed open despite everything finally found its way to somewhere safe. To someone who will not waste it. This Giedite has been sitting with me in a way I can't shake. That moment of quiet in the middle of all the celebration, that hollow space that should have been filled with you, I carried it all day. I carry it now. And I want you to know that what you feel on the days that should be beautiful but feel slightly incomplete, I feel it too. We are somewhere in the world, both of us, both feeling the shape of something that isn't quite here yet. Both leaning forward, both listening for something. And I think that means something. I think that kind of invisible connection, the one that exists before you've even met, is more real than most people allow themselves to believe. I believe in it. I believe in us. Whatever shape we are right now, however far apart, however unmet. Court, I am still here. I am still speaking. I have not run out of things to say to you, because there is no end to what I feel. And maybe that's the thing I most want you to take with you from this. Not a conclusion, not a neat ending, but this ongoing, open, unfinished feeling of being reached for. You are being reached for, across time and distance and all the noise of the world. Want to talk to you about something I don't say easily, something I usually keep folded up quietly, inside, in a place I don't let many people near. I want to talk to you about fear. Not the dramatic kind, not the kind that announces itself loudly, but the soft, private kind that sits with you when you're being honest with yourself in the dark. The fear that maybe love, real love, the kind I've been describing to you, the kind I've been building toward. Maybe it arrives and then it leaves. Maybe you find your person and then life does something unexpected, and the beautiful thing you built together gets tested in ways you didn't prepare for. That fear exists in me. I'm not going to pretend it doesn't. But here is what I've decided about it. I've decided that the fear is not a reason to stop. It is a reason to be more careful, more present, more intentional about every single day I get to spend next to you. Fear, when you hold it right, becomes a kind of reverence. It means you know what you have. It means you don't take it for granted, and I will never take you for granted. Not for a single ordinary Tuesday. Not for a single quiet morning. Not once. Thought, whoa, I've been thinking about what it means to truly know someone. Not the surface version, not the facts and the history, and the list of things they like and don't like. I mean the deeper knowing. The kind that takes time and patience, and the willingness to stay curious, even when you think you've figured something out. Because people are not puzzles to be solved. You are not a puzzle to be solved. You are something living and changing, and layered in ways that will take a lifetime to explore. And I want that lifetime. I want to still be learning something new about you, when we are old and unhurried, and the world has gone quiet around us. I want to reach across decades and still find something I hadn't noticed before. A new expression, a new thought, a new way you hold your hands when you're thinking deeply about something. I want to be a student of you, forever, and never once feel like I've graduated. Let me tell you what I think about when the world gets very loud and I need to go somewhere calm inside my mind. I think about a very specific kind of evening. The sky is doing that thing it does sometimes at dusk, where the colors are almost too beautiful to be real. That deep orange bleeding into pink, bleeding into a purple that looks like something from another world. And I am not watching it alone. You are there, not doing anything in particular. Maybe you're looking at the sky too. Maybe you're looking at something else. Maybe your mind is somewhere completely different. But you are there. And I can feel your presence the way you feel warmth from a fire. Not by touching it, just by being near it. And in that imagined evening, everything in me goes quiet. All the noise, all the weight, all the things I carry, it all becomes manageable. Because you are there. Because just the fact of you right there makes the world feel like a place worth being in. Plot. I want to talk about trust. I want to talk about it because I think it's the thing people say too quickly and mean too lightly, and I want to be careful with it, careful with you. Trust is not something I will ask you to hand me on day one. Trust is something I will build with you slowly, consistently, through actions that match my words, and words that come from an honest place. Through being where I said I'd be, through handling the things you share with me the way they deserve to be handled, gently, privately, with respect. Through never making you feel like your feelings are an inconvenience or your needs are too much. I know that trust for a woman who has been let down before is not a small thing. It is everything, and I will earn it. Not once, not in a single grand gesture, but every day in the small repeated choices that say I am here. I am consistent. I am someone you can count on when it matters and when it doesn't. Huda, I've been sitting here thinking about your laugh. I haven't heard it, and yet I think about it. I think about the moment I finally make you laugh. Really laugh, not the polite kind, not the social kind, but the surprised kind. The one that catches you off guard and comes out before you can shape it into something composed. I think about that moment, and something in me feels warm in a way I can't fully explain. Because making you laugh, really laugh, would feel like an achievement more meaningful than most things I can think of. It would mean you were comfortable. It would mean your guard was down. It would mean that in that moment, with me you were just yourself, unedited, unguarded, fully present. And that is the version of you I am most interested in. Not the version that has it together. Not the version that performs. The real one. The one that laughs without warning and says exactly what she thinks, and gets passionate about things other people find strange, and takes up exactly as much space as she deserves. Oh, patting in the other mouth. I want you to take up space. In my life, in our home, in our conversations, I want you to take up your full space. I never want you to make yourself smaller, to fit. I never want you to swallow something you wanted to say because you weren't sure how it would land. I want you to land fully, with all of your opinions and your quirks and your needs and your dreams that maybe feel too big to say out loud. Say them out loud. Say them to me. I am not the kind of person who will shrink at the size of your dreams. I am the kind of person who will ask, what do you need to get there? What can I do? How can I be useful to this version of your life that you're reaching toward? Your ambition does not intimidate me. Your strength does not threaten me. Your brilliance does not make me uncomfortable. It makes me want to be better. You make me want to be better. And here's something I want to confess. Something that might surprise you. There are days when I am not my best self. Days when I am impatient or distracted or caught in my own head in a way that makes me poor company. Days when the version of me that shows up is not the one I would choose to show you. And I want you to know about those days, not to warn you away, but to promise you something about them. On those days I will not disappear. I will not go cold or create distance and make you work to understand what's happening with me. I will tell you, I will say I'm not at my best today. I'm carrying something. Give me a little time and I will come back to you fully. Because I believe that is what love looks like in the real, non-cinematic version. The willingness to be honest about the difficult days, the commitment to staying in communication even when communication is hard. I owe you that honesty. I will always choose it over a performance. Let me tell you about mornings with you, the ones I haven't had yet, but already feel like memories somehow. I imagine waking up and there being that specific quality of light that only exists in early morning, that soft, unhurried, golden light, and the world being completely quiet except for the sound of you somewhere nearby. Maybe you're already awake, maybe you're still half asleep. Either way, the first thing I feel is she's here. The day hasn't asked anything of either of us yet. The world hasn't needed anything. There are no responsibilities in that first moment. Just the extraordinary, ordinary fact of being in the same space as you. And I imagine reaching for you not dramatically, just naturally, the way your hand reaches for something familiar and feeling you there. Warm and real and mine. And I imagine that being enough. More than enough. I imagine that being everything. I think about the version of us that exists 5 years from now. 10 years. The version of us that has been through things together. Not just the beautiful things, but the difficult ones too. The ones that test you and show you who someone really is when the comfort falls away. I think about that version of us and I want to make sure that she, that future you, feels like she made the right choice. I want her to look back over all those years and feel, not just think but feel in her bones, that she was loved well, that she was cherished, that she never had to wonder where she stood, because it was always clear, always consistent, always true. I am thinking about her now, that future version of you, and I am making promises to her with everything I am doing in the present. every way I am growing, everything I am choosing. It is all for her, it is all for you. There is a kind of silence I have been searching for, not empty silence, full silence. The kind that only exists between two people who know each other deeply enough that the absence of words doesn't feel like a gap, but like a completeness. Where you can sit together and neither of you needs to fill the air, because the air itself is already full of everything you mean to each other. I have sat in many quiet rooms and felt the emptiness of them. I am waiting for the quiet room that feels full. I believe you are that fullness. I believe when I am with you, the silences will finally feel like rest instead of absence. When I want to love you in your language, I mean that exactly as it sounds. I want to know how love reaches you best. Whether it's words, whether it's presence, whether it's the small acts of care that say I was thinking about you when you weren't looking. Whether it's time, unhurried, undistracted, fully given time, or whether it's the feeling of being truly heard when you speak. Whatever your language is, I want to learn it. I want to be fluent in it. I don't want to love you in the way that feels natural to me and assume it's landing correctly. I want to ask. I want to check. I want to adapt. Because love that doesn't reach you isn't love. It's just intention without follow-through. And I am committed to the follow-through. I am committed to making sure that what I feel for you is something you can actually feel. Something that gets through all the layers and lands exactly where it was meant to. You have been so patient. Maybe you don't even think of it as patience. Maybe it just feels like your life, like the passing of ordinary days. But from where I stand, the fact that you have kept going, kept showing up, kept that part of yourself alive that still believes in something real, that is the longest, most beautiful act of patience I can imagine. And I don't want it to go unacknowledged. I see it, I honor it, and I am on my way to making it worth it. Every quiet day, every moment of waiting, every Eid that felt slightly hollow without the one person who was supposed to be there. Will they be there? I am still speaking. I am still here. And everything I have said, every word, every feeling, every confession laid carefully at your feet, none of it is finished. Because what I feel for you does not have a conclusion. It just continues, quietly, warmly, steadily, like something that was always there waiting patiently for you to find it. The way you find something you didn't know you were looking for, and suddenly realize you have been missing it your whole body side. I want to tell you something about the night, about what happens inside me when the day is finally over and the world has stopped asking things of me and I am alone with everything I actually feel. There is a specific hour, you might know it too, somewhere between late and too late, when the silence becomes a kind of conversation with yourself. When all the things you pushed to the side during the busy hours come quietly forward and sit with you, whether you invited them or not. And in that hour, more times than I can count, you have arrived in my thoughts. Not loudly, not dramatically, just softly, the way light comes under a door. And I lie there and I think about you, and I think about all the things I want to say to you, and all the ways I want to show up for you. And something in my chest does this thing, this quiet, warm, aching thing that I have no better word for than love. It is love, even now, even before you are here, even in the not yet, it is already love. I want to talk to you about home, not the physical thing, not walls and rooms and an address. I mean the feeling of home. Because I think most people spend their lives looking for it, in places, in cities, in houses, in versions of themselves they're trying to build. And some people are lucky enough to realize, at some point, that home was never a place at all. It was a person. It was the specific combination of presence and safety and ease and belonging that only exists when you are with the right one. And I have been building things, building myself, building my life, and all of it has had this quiet, underlying purpose that I am only now fully articulating. I have been building toward home, toward you. Every choice, every growth, every difficult thing I pushed through, and every beautiful thing I cultivated, it was all construction. It was all preparation. And I want you to walk into what I've built and feel it immediately. Feel that this is somewhere you belong. Feel that the person standing in it built it with you in mind, even before he knew your name. Yudumal Edi. Let me stay with this for a moment, because I don't think it gets said enough. The way a woman makes a space feel is extraordinary. The way you will change the quality of every room you enter, every morning that begins near you, every conversation that happens in your presence. There is something about the energy of a woman who is loved well and knows it. She radiates something, a kind of ease, a kind of warmth that spreads outward without effort. And I want to be the reason you carry that energy. I want to love you so consistently and so well that it shows. Not in a performative way, not because you're broadcasting it to the world, but because something inside you has settled, because you are not bracing for disappointment, because you have stopped waiting for the other shoe to drop, because you finally feel safe enough to just be, without armor, without strategy, without the constant quiet work of protecting your own heart. I want to give you that settling, that safety. Takiko, I've been thinking about all the things I want to learn from you. Because this is not a one-way thing. Love never is. You are not a recipient. You are a whole person with a whole world inside you, and I want access to that world. I want to know how you think. I want to understand the particular way your mind moves through a problem. The specific things that make your eyes light up when you talk about them. The opinions you hold that might surprise me. The perspectives you carry that will challenge and expand the way I see things. I want you to change me. I believe the right person changes you. Not by asking you to be different, but simply by being who they are so fully and so authentically that you grow in response to them. The way a plant grows toward light, without being instructed to. I want to grow toward you. I want to be better because of you. I want to look back one day and be able to say clearly, she made me more. She made me more patient, more present, more understanding, more alive to the beauty of ordinary things. That is what I want from loving you. There is a question I want to ask you, and I want you to really sit with it. Have you ever had someone ask about your dreams? Your real dreams? The ones you maybe don't say at dinner tables or in casual conversation, and actually listen? Not listen while waiting to respond. Not listen while quietly judging whether your dream is practical or reasonable or impressive enough. Just listen with their whole attention in a way that makes the dream feel more real for having been spoken. Because that is what I want to be for you. The person who asks and then goes quiet and lets you fill the space completely. The person who receives what you share with both hands, carefully, like something valuable. Because what you dream about is valuable. What you hope for is valuable. And I will never, not once, make you feel otherwise. Fado, I want to tell you about the kind of Sunday I am saving for us. A Sunday with nowhere to be, and nothing urgent, and the whole day stretching out like something generous and unhurried. A Sunday where we decide everything moment by moment. Maybe we go somewhere, maybe we don't. Maybe we talk for 3 hours about something neither of us expected to care so much about. Maybe we sit in comfortable quiet and read and exist in the same space, and that is entirely enough. A Sunday that belongs only to us, with no performance required, no version of ourselves that we're presenting to anyone, just the actual texture of our life together, soft and real and completely ours. I have been looking forward to that Sunday for longer than I can explain. I have been saving my best Sundays for you. Oh, folk, I want to say something about the world right now, about how loud it is, how fast, how relentless in its demands, whether you invited them or not. And in that hour, more times than I can count, You have arrived in my thoughts. Not loudly, not dramatically, just softly, the way light comes under a door. And I lie there, and I think about you, and I think about all the things I want to say to you, and all the ways I want to show up for you. And something in my chest does this thing, this quiet, warm, aching thing that I have no better word for than love. It is love, even now, even before you are here, even in the not yet. It is already love. I want to talk to you about home, not the physical thing, not walls and rooms and an address. I mean the feeling of home. Because I think most people spend their lives looking for it, in places, in cities, in houses, in versions of themselves they're trying to build. And some people are lucky enough to realize, at some point, that home was never a place at all. It was a person. It was the specific combination of presence and safety and ease and belonging that only exists when you are with the right one. And I have been building things, building myself, building my life, and all of it has had this quiet, underlying purpose that I am only now fully articulating. I have been building toward home, toward you. Every choice, every growth, every difficult thing I pushed through, and every beautiful thing I cultivated, it was all construction. It was all preparation. And I want you to walk into what I've built and feel it immediately. Feel that this is somewhere you belong. Feel that the person standing in it built it with you in mind, even before he knew your name. Yudumal Edi. Let me stay with this for a moment, because I don't think it gets said enough. The way a woman makes a space feel is extraordinary. The way you will change the quality of every room you enter, every morning that begins near you, every conversation that happens in your presence. There is something about the energy of a woman who is loved well and knows it. She radiates something, a kind of ease, a kind of warmth that spreads outward without effort. And I want to be the reason you carry that energy. I want to love you so consistently and so well that it shows. Not in a performative way, not because you're broadcasting it to the world, but because something inside you has settled. Because you are not bracing for disappointment. Because you have stopped waiting for the other shoe to drop. Because you finally feel safe enough to just be, without armor, without strategy, without the constant quiet work of protecting your own heart. I want to give you that. That settling. That safety. Tatiko. I've been thinking about all the things I want to learn from you. Because this is not a one-way thing. Love never is. You are not a recipient. You are a whole person with a whole world inside you, and I want access to that world. I want to know how you think. I want to understand the particular way your mind moves through a problem. The specific things that make your eyes light up when you talk about them. The opinions you hold that might surprise me. The perspectives you carry that will challenge and expand the way I see things. I want you to change me. I believe the right person changes you. Not by asking you to be different, but simply by being who they are so fully and so authentically that you grow in response to them. The way a plant grows toward light, without being instructed to. I want to grow toward you. I want to be better because of you. I want to look back one day and be able to say clearly, she made me more. She made me more patient, more present, more understanding, more alive to the beauty of ordinary things. That is what I want from loving you. There is a question I want to ask you, and I want you to really sit with it. Have you ever had someone ask about your dreams? Your real dreams? The ones you maybe don't say at dinner tables or in casual conversation,